Head over to patreon.com/MWilliamPhelps and sign up for my free content page, where I'll be interacting with you, doing live streams, posting exclusive content, sending out newsletters, and dropping a major limited series podcast exclusively for Patreon members later this year. That's patreon.com/MWilliamPhelps. patreon.com/MWilliamPhelps. A young girl climbs out of her bedroom window and into the darkness of an Arizona winter night. A search begins. Weeks go by. Nothing. Then a call and a gruesome discovery. My name is M. William Phelps. I'm an investigative journalist and the true crime author of close to 50 books. I've dedicated the past 20 years of my life to helping families of the missing and murdered. Join me. We're crossing the line. It's January 27th, 2025, a Monday in Mesa, Arizona. The temperature on that evening is about 46 degrees. At 10:19 p.m., a Mesa Police Department officer responds to a missing person report call from a local Mesa group home for kids. The group home is located near Mesa Drive and McKellips Road. The area includes your typical city sites throughout the country. Fast food and taco restaurants, lots of urgent walk-in medical facilities, gas stations, strips of single-family cookie-cutter homes. The streets, parks, and general downtown region as a whole is no different from any other southwestern neighborhood. People go about their lives and their business and don't much cause a fuss. The Sacred Journey Group Home calls itself a residential child care center. Over the past 3 years, in this particular group home, some 30 kids have been reported to have run away, which I think says something. What exactly, I am not so sure of. But it speaks to how bad some kids don't want to be in this particular home. The Sacred Journey manager calls in this most recent runaway report on that January 27th night. One of the kids, she says, an Apache girl named Emily Pike, just 14 years old, has been gone for about 30 minutes. According to the manager, Emily snuck out of her bedroom through a window and took off. In his report of the call, the officer refers to Emily as a juvie AWOL. It's a popular term cops use. A juvenile has gone AWOL. The responding officer checks out Emily's room. It appears as though she pushed the window screen out from the inside and climbed through the window. She's run away several times in the past, the manager explains to Mesa Police. Emily is a cute kid. She is 4 feet 10 inches tall, has medium length, dark brown hair, thick, and in one photo, the ends of her hair were dyed a bright blonde, almost sunburst orange. The last time the manager saw Emily, she says, the girl seemed okay. She is wearing a pink and gray shirt, and the manager tells police she doesn't have a cell phone. Any idea where she could have gone to, the officer asks. Fitch Park, the manager says. Generally, when kids take off like this, they go to the same places and seek out the same people. She then gives the officer a photo of Emily. The officer sends the photo to Mesa Police Records and speaks with the specialist and has them enter Emily into the database as a runaway/missing person. There's a bit of a here we go again type of feeling going on here. And we see this sometimes early into these cases. Although she is viewed as a teen who has run away and will likely come back or be found soon, Emily is missing. Nobody knows where she is. Again, she's 14 years old. Mesa is east of Tempe and Phoenix. Fitch Park is where the Major League Baseball team Oakland Athletics practice in the spring. It's on East 8th Street, about 2 miles southwest of the group home. On foot, this is like a solid 45-minute walk. And remember, it's the middle of the night here. The Mesa police officer heads straight to Fitch Park from the group home and has a look around. Emily is a member of the San Carlos Apache tribe. The reservation spans across Gila, Graham, and Pinal counties in southeastern Arizona, according to its website. Over 1.8 million acres in total, a massive area. Apache harbor a deep spiritual and cultural base that, quote, ties to the natural world, where everything has both a purpose and a spirit that carry on through the Apache universe. The tribe's social services department had placed Emily in that group home. It is thought immediately that Emily has left the home to head back to the reservation so she can be with her mother. If you follow true crime in any way, I don't have to tell you that American Indian cases of the missing and murdered indigenous people have been largely ignored by the mainstream media and, in many cases I have seen personally, law enforcement as well. If not totally ignored, there's certainly a look the other way attitude, with a tone of not treating the cases as serious as they would a white girl with blonde hair and blue eyes from a rich suburb. This cannot be debated or even denied. This is a fact. Things have improved slightly in that respect over the past 5 years or so, but until any missing person, regardless of race, creed, or social status, is viewed the same, there is still so much work to be done. I was overwhelmed with shock and anger many years ago as I investigated the Highway of Tears case up in British Columbia, Canada, for my investigation discovery series, Dark Minds. What enraged me was how often Native people asked for help in a missing person or murder case only to be entirely shunned or flat out ignored. I sat in the living rooms of one victim's family after another and was repeatedly told law enforcement doesn't care about us. At the time, scores of Native women were going missing on a routine basis, and bodies were being found along the Highway of Tears, a 417-mile-long stretch of Highway 16 running from Prince Rupert to Prince George in British Columbia. Many of these women had been found beaten to death or stabbed or strangled or bludgeoned, most of them raped, their bodies tossed along the side of the road. And it seems nobody was doing anything to investigate their cases with any enthusiasm, with any care. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP, couldn't even agree with the families on the number of cases. The families say it's higher than 40, and the RCMP claim about 20. I can tell you from my work on the case, the number far exceeds 40. In case after case I investigated, the family reports a missing Native young girl or young woman only to be told, we're working on it. And yet they never hear from law enforcement again. Even if law enforcement up there is working on those cases, or even down here, the family's perception is nobody cares. So the way in which American Indians have been treated with regard to their missing and murdered is dubious, appalling, and obvious. And we need to do something about it. We're not doing enough. I said things have changed slightly. That's not good enough. As that January night of the 27th turns into the 28th, there is still no word from or about Emily Pike. She wasn't at Fitch Park, the officer calls in to report after checking things out there. She hasn't come back to the group home. She hasn't turned up at the reservation. And as far as police can tell, nobody has seen or heard from her. Emily Pike is missing. Remember, she's 14, a child, out in the middle of the night in downtown Mesa alone. Mesa police contact the social services case manager at the San Carlos Apache tribe in charge of placing kids into group homes. There's no indication I could find why Emily had been placed into a home, though she is taking medications for what the home says is behavioral issues and mental health issues. So take from that what you will. And honestly, it doesn't matter why she had been placed in the home within the scope of Emily being missing, beyond maybe giving the police a bit of background information to take into account as they search. Emily is a child. I'll keep saying this. She is missing, period. She needs to be located and brought back. A 14-year-old kid wandering around Mesa in the middle of the night, fending for herself, is not a good situation. And knowing details behind the reason why she has been placed in the home will prompt judgment. And in that regard, increase the inherent bias within those searching for her. So again, in order to serve the victim and her family the right way, the most prevailing and most important information is that a minor child is missing. Where could she be, and who might she be with? The group has rules. One of its program directors comes out and says, referring to when a child can leave the home, quote, "We definitely need to know who, what, where, when are you coming back? We need to meet these people, who you're going to be with, have conversations, realize that they're real individuals, not just somebody you're making up. You're not going to go to a friend's house and there's no parents there. Stuff like that." End quote. Sounds good on paper, right? But it's not worth the damn breath of saying out loud unless you are going to implement those rules and adhere to them at any cost. And also, getting to know the child on a more personal level than just treating them as a commodity. It kind of floors me when I think about it. But your job, one job, is to house kids and watch over them. Make sure they remain safe inside that house and when they leave. And yet, in this particular home, 30 kids in 3 years, nearly one a month, have gone missing or left the home. You'd figure after the first 10 within a year, they'd develop some sort of new policy or strategy or have a plan in place to monitor the kids a bit better. I guess I'm coming down hard on this particular home, and it sounds like I am going after the people who work there. But this bullshit needs to be called out, period. Within what I have read about Emily, friends and family describe her as bright and creative. She spent her free time drawing and painting with a passion for art as her future developing. Her mother is quoted in an article by Blake Coronado on March 2nd, 2025 for ourhumanityca.org as a happy and kind young girl who dreamed for as long as anyone can recall of going to art school. The case manager working for the group home does not contact Emily's family. In fact, according to one report, it'll be a week before Emily's family, who live on the San Carlos Reservation, find out she is missing. If this is true in any respect, it's repulsive. Emily's family has said there is no way Emily would disappear or run away without contacting family. And I would assume that Emily, if she had left on her own and did actually run away, would have headed straight to the reservation, which leads me to theorize that Emily might have been in contact with someone on the outside on either the internet or by a phone she had gained access to. 14-year-olds, kids, are highly vulnerable to grooming. And I am not in any way blaming or saying Emily played any part in her disappearance. What I am saying is the monsters roaming through cyberspace and trolling in chat rooms and other spaces on the internet know exactly what they are doing and how to entice kids to do things they wouldn't normally do. And kids are naive in this respect. You get some psychopath latching onto a kid in Emily's position, and he will use that situation she is in as a means to lure her away from the protective order of her life. This is what scares me about Emily's case, about all these cases, the devious scumbags out there looking to exploit children. They are everywhere today, and trafficking is at a worrisome place right now in the world. So the darkness of a desert night in Arizona has many different demons hiding in the shadows, just waiting for their opportunity to take advantage of a situation and a child. As adults in positions of being responsible for a child's welfare and safety, you need to be vigilant and on your game 24/7. It's a lot, sure. But these kids are depending on this from the adults in their lives. We are all they have. The Mesa police contact the San Carlos Apache tribe case manager and ask about Emily, and they say this: she has a history of behavioral and mental concerns. I do not know of any possible location for Emily at this time. All the more reason to, I would say, pull out all stops and get people out there searching for this girl. Before this case takes a very sad, dark, gruesome turn, let's take a break here. I'll also take a moment to calm down. Be right back. If true crime is part of your daily routine, you need to check out this podcast, Morning Cup of Murder. Every single day, Karina B. Mazdafer delivers a new true crime case. No banter, no fluff, just straight to the story. With over 2,000 episodes and 40 million downloads, there's a reason listeners keep going back. Some cases you'll recognize, others you won't, but you'll always be engaged. So if you need a true crime quick fix, search for Morning Cup of Murder wherever you get your podcasts and add it to your lineup of shows. I received an email from a listener named Madonna one day. Say her name was written in the subject line. Boy, did that strike me. It got my attention. Say her name. One-word sentences. Say her name. I love this. It's so direct and to the point. Madonna's email said, quote, young, beautiful child who is a Native American female. Went missing in January. Please say her name. Emily Pike. Get her story out and help find who robbed our world of her light. I am just a Native American woman, have my children and hold them so close, knowing every moment with them is more precious than anything in this world. I listen to each of your stories, especially the missing and murdered natives. I trust you will be a loud and strong voice to get her story out, to find justice for her and all who love her. Thank you for all you do and the hope you give. End quote. This message touched me deeply. It had me thinking about Emily Pike that entire day. Not only Emily, but how many other Emily Pikes are out there. And how have we failed them? Where did things go wrong in this situation? That's what I took away from that email. Big questions. I understand this. But big things do not happen unless we ask uncomfortable questions and get people to respond and to think about things more responsibly, differently. Meaning, just talking about, well, it isn't working, just carrying on after a tragedy that in many ways others play a role in, will never work. Emily needed us, the adults in the room. We let her down. Into January 28th and 29th, social workers search a few of the local popular spots Emily might have gone off to. One is the Rock Teen Center, where she'd gone off to before. Nobody has seen or heard from her. Flyers are then posted and handed out. Social media, as it does in these cases, begins to spread its poisonous misinformation, sending those looking for Emily on fruitless searches beyond giving false hope. It's February 7th now, over a week after Emily has been gone. The group home case manager contacts Emily's mother, only after a Facebook post claims that Emily is with her mother. The implication being Emily's mother is hiding her child out. Emily is not with her mother, and she explains that was an old post on Facebook. There is some indication that Emily's plan when she left the group home was to go home to her family on the reservation, and that may very well be what she set off to do. The questions are, how would she get there after jumping out of her bedroom window? Who was she speaking to before leaving? And why would she choose that time and that day to leave? Answers to those questions will explain a lot. Halfway into February, on Valentine's Day, a report comes in to the Mesa police. Someone has made a gruesome discovery in a remote section of Globe, Arizona, which is about 90 miles. That's a long way northeast of Mesa. Now, what might be significant in Emily's case is that on May 18th, 2024, 17-year-old Veronica Cruz leaves the same group home Emily was in and has not been seen since. Veronica is described as Hispanic, 5 feet 3 inches tall, 115 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. All right? So very similar to Emily. Veronica is last seen on that day, 8 or so months before Emily goes missing, near 5 p.m. The group home had called the Mesa police to report Veronica missing. In March 2025, a local TV station, 12 News, contacted the CEO in charge of the group home to inquire about Veronica's case, which seemed to have fallen off the radar over the time leading up to Emily's disappearance. It's what happens with these cases a lot. There's a big groundswell in the first couple weeks, first month, and then boom, they're gone. Veronica Cruz is safe, the CEO tells 12 News. Though I do not know who she is with or where she is. Let's not be cryptic or sketchy sounding in any way now, or cause more concern, shall we? The CEO went on to note that Veronica turns 18 in April 2025, as if to indicate that she will then be an adult and can remain missing if she chooses to. The Mesa police respond to the CEO's answer to the Veronica question by stating that they would need to physically verify Veronica is safe and under the care of a guardian before changing the status of her case, which remains a missing person report. And as of this writing, that change has not been done. I have to commend 12 News. And I don't want to go off on a tangent here per se, but some of the best journalism right now is local and noticeably taking place in the Southwest and Midwest. They are still doing things the old-fashioned way out there, actually digging and reporting facts. 12 News inquired with the Mesa police about the status of the 30 missing kid cases from that one group home, which was when Veronica's name came up. Otherwise, we would have never heard about Veronica's case. Detective Brandy Myers, a Mesa Police Department public information officer, tells 12 News that anyone with information about Veronica Cruz's whereabouts should call in and let them know. What is the big secret here, I ask? If Veronica is okay, the adults in the room should make police aware of this. Why is this CEO of the group home playing mysterious Scooby-Doo shit with the "I know Veronica is safe, but I don't know where she is or with whom" attitude? Where's that coming from? What in the hell is this? Did someone at the home or in management speak to Veronica? That's the implication. Did someone run into her at the freaking Piggly Wiggly? We have two sides here. The police are saying, well, prove it to us. The CEO saying, she's okay. On February 19th, 2025, the Mesa police receive a call from the Bureau of Indian Affairs. They explained that a Jane Doe had been discovered in Globe nearly 100 miles from where Emily Pike went missing, back on Valentine's Day. And the Bureau says they believe the Jane Doe is Emily Pike. I'm going to take a final break here. Come right back. The Bureau of Indian Affairs Homicide Unit tells Mesa Police Department that the Jane Doe, whom they believe to be Emily Pike, was found within the Gila County Indian Reservation. By the end of February, those remains are positively identified as Emily Pike. Why it took what was almost 5 days to draw this conclusion is because Emily Pike's body was dismembered and stuffed inside garbage bags. In fact, according to one report, only a certain amount of Emily's remains have been recovered, not her entire body, with several of her limbs still missing. There is no exact cause of death right now, which I guess they are holding back in order to allow Emily's killer, when they catch the son of a bitch, to explain. One news report says that there was severe trauma to Emily's head and face. This investigation is in its earliest stages. I am confident they will catch Emily's killer. It's easy to say that someone who dismembers a body is an experienced murderer and this is not their first go-around, or that a serial killer was passing through and grabbed Emily. But I have seen case after case, more so over the past 10 years, where one-off killers turn toward the gruesome act of dismembering their victims. It's irrational and morbid and beyond anything we can comprehend, I understand. And yet, to a killer, it becomes practical sometimes, either to transport a body or to try to hide their identity. Of course, you cannot rule out a serial killer. But this is not on the top of my list in this case. Someone who knew Emily, someone Emily trusted, somebody able to get close to Emily within the last few weeks or months of her life. I think that is where the answer could be. But also, Emily hops out that window, gets onto the road, middle of the night. It could just be anybody passing by. We need to be patient. This type of investigation takes time. The forensics alone involved are very complicated, comprehensive, and time-consuming. The San Carlos Tribal Police, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and the Gila County Sheriff's Office are all working together on this. I believe their goal is to serve the victim's family and get them some answers and see that justice is carried out. Emily's mother has told media that they are focused on 3 persons of interest already. If true, that's a very solid start. I read that details about Emily's remains and dismemberment were leaked online before law enforcement even had a chance to speak to or let the family know what happened. Can you imagine? Gruesome details about your loved one revealed online, put out there for the disgusting true crime social media trolls to devour before you have even heard from police. It's beyond the pale of exploitation, intensifying the family's pain and increasing their trauma. The Department of Child Safety, DCS, recently launched a licensing inquiry into the group home where both Emily Pike and Veronica Cruz went missing from. DCS released a statement to 12 News. Quote, "At this time, the department does not believe any action taken or not taken by the group home caused the terrible outcome in this case." I never hold my breath waiting for DCS to do much right. I hate to hammer these agencies, and social workers have my utmost respect and admiration. And I generally understand social workers get a bad rap, and their hands are often tied by red tape. But DCS, as a bureaucratic system, not its people, has repeatedly proven that it does not serve the public need in protecting children in the best ways it can. Again, I am not condemning those hardworking people working for DCS. So save the email, digital paper, and don't attack me. I am saying the system is broken and needs to be fixed. Emily had run away from the same group home 3 times in 2023. Her reason then was that she did not like living there. She didn't want to go back. The 4th time she ran away, she never made it back. I would suspect that if a kid ran away from a home 3 times, you'd be watching them closer. Again, I'm not blaming the home for what happened to Emily. I want to make that clear. I'm not blaming this home. I'm not blaming the people who worked for this home. I'm blaming the system, the policies. They need to be changed. Emily Pike's aunt told Fox 10 News this: "Emily was a spark, and she definitely sparked the world, and now the world is on fire because of Emily." The San Carlos Apache tribe released a statement on March 24, 2025, calling out local and state leaders to do something. Investigate and tighten regulations for state-licensed residential group homes for children, citing Emily's case in particular. They also implored the legislative House in Arizona to pass House Bill 2281, which suggests establishing a missing indigenous person alert system. The council also offered a $75,000 reward for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for Emily's murder. Important to mention is that the Gila County Sheriff's Office has said most recently, despite earlier reports, that they have no suspects in this case at the present moment. This is an ongoing investigation. At her funeral service, Emily's uncle stood and said, "Today we will tell her story. Today her voice will be heard. Today we will say her name." I am not accustomed to covering cases so early into an investigation, simply because a lot of early reporting and information is at best 50% accurate. That's just the way things happen in real time. And if I cannot get my hands on primary documents from police or elsewhere, I don't like to get involved. But this case, as I said, struck me. And the sincerity of Madonna's message made me think about Emily and what I could do, which is to continue to say and remember her name, Emily Pike. If you have any information about Emily's case, please call the Gila County Sheriff's non-emergency phone number at 928-402-8888. That's 928-402-8888. I'll also put this number in the show notes. That's it for this week. Be safe. Be aware. Sources for this episode include Remembering Emily Pike, A Community's Grief and Demand for Justice by Blake Coronado, March 2nd, 2025, ourhumanityca.org. San Carlos Apache Tribe demands investigation into group homes after Emily Pike's murder by Shondon Silversmith, March 28, 2025, Arizona Mirror. NBC 12 News local reporting of this case. And a Mesa Police Department report of 12 pages I was able to obtain, dated March 20th, 2025. I also want to thank Madonna and another listener, H, who also wrote in about Emily's case. Crossing the Line is executive produced by M. William Phelps, LLC, and Matthew Valentinus, Mom's Basement Management. Written by me, M. William Phelps. Audio mastering and mixing by Matt Russell. Music by Epidemic Sound. Original music written and performed by Thomas Mooney, Tom Phelps, and Matt Russell.